Hi, friends. Yesterday, I gave you a quick introduction to the Book of Esther in the Hebrew Bible. Today, let's begin the story. It takes place in Susa, the capital of the Persian Empire, in the early 5th century BC. There were Jews living in Susa, as well as in other places in the world, because the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar had dispersed the Jews from their homeland in Judah and the capital city of Jerusalem early in the 6th century BC. Even though 50 years later, King Cyrus allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem and Judah, many chose to remain where they had already reestablished their lives. The king of Persia, Ahasuerus, was a partying man. The story begins with him throwing a 180-day party for the nobles and the military leaders of the provinces. And he was doing that in order to show off the wealth of his kingdom and his own royal majesty. The party is immediately followed by another 7-day party for the citizens of Susa. And that included so much drinking it would have put any frat party to shame. At the same time as this drunken celebration, the queen of Persia, Vashti, threw a party for the women in the palace. On the last day of the party, the king ordered Vashti to come to his party so that he could show off her beauty. Vashti refused. And of course, this infuriated the king. And all of the king's advisors convinced him that Vashti's insubordination would cause all of the women in the kingdom to rebel against their husbands. And so the king deposed Vashti and sent an edict throughout the kingdom that every man should be the master in his own house. So now the king needed a new queen. So there was essentially a beauty pageant. Young women from all over the kingdom were brought to the palace, given beauty treatments, and then brought before the king. And the one who pleased the king would become his new queen. Esther, a Jew who had been raised by her cousin Mordecai, was among the contestants. Now, she kept her ethnic identity a secret. Of course, the king loved Esther more than all the other women. Of all the virgins, she won his favor and devotion, so that he set the royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Now, in the meantime, Mordecai, Esther's cousin, the father figure, was at a palace gate, and he overheard a plot to kill the king. Mordecai told Esther, Esther told the king, and after an investigation proved that the plot was true, the conspirators were hanged and the event was recorded in the Book of the Year's records. Now, enter Haman. He was a court official whom the king had appointed above all the other officials, and the king ordered that everyone had to bow before Haman. When Haman passed by Mordecai, Mordecai refused to bow. This infuriated Haman. And when Haman found out that Mordecai was a Jew, he schemed to destroy the entire Jewish people. Haman cast the lot, Pur, to decide the date of the Jews' destruction.
Will Haman succeed in destroying the Jewish people? Will Mordecai grovel to win over Haman? Will Esther reveal her Jewish heritage? Find out tomorrow as the plot thickens.